What's going on, everyone? This is our review of In the Gray, released on May 15th, 2026. We are Post Credits Podcast. Grayson Maxwell and Chris Bond hanging out with you. Roger is, you know what? We still didn't come up with a convincing story for Roger. He's just not here. He's
He's not here.
he's off. He's off doing his Roger things.
He's
Chris, if you
abandoned
could,
us for better things.
indeed, Chris, if you could be so kind, lead us in for thumbs up or thumbs down for In the Gray.
Yeah, so In the Gray, this is what we thought of the movie in 3, 2, 1. What do we got?
I'm thumbs up on it.
I am too.
I don't think I'm as high on it as you. You mentioned, we talked earlier in the week, and you mentioned that you kind of really enjoyed it. I'm not sure I really enjoyed it, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. For what it's worth, I enjoyed my time with it. Would I choose to watch it again so soon? I'm not quite so sure, but we have some interesting talking points. So
I think so soon is fair. I've now sat on it a little longer than when I first told you that I'd watch it again, and I stand by that. I would like this is a movie, even though it's rated R, I believe it. If I walked into anyone's house, and this is on the TV screen, I'm not upset about it. Right? It could just play. Like it's not a terrible watch. It's just a strange one. It feels weird. So I'm sure you have some particulars for us though. So go ahead.
I do indeed. For those of you who didn't watch it, which is pretty much everyone on the planet, it was directed by and written by Guy Ritchie. But here's the thing that has me a little kind of kerfuffled is, so if you're listening to this, thank you. If you've not seen or heard of In the Gray, Henry Cavill, Jake Gyllenhaal, Isa Gonzalez. You have Carlos Bardem, which is the brother of Javier Bardem. You have Rosamund Pike. You have quite a bit of star power in this. So if you've not seen that, you definitely should think about, because that's Henry Cavill. Although you can kind of start seeing his old man gray hair in this, I will say. Sorry,
Yeah,
Henry. It just look. Yeah, you're not exactly in your Mission Impossible 6 shape anymore, but yeah, you can start to see it. But it's a hell of a cast. What do you what do you say to that, Chris?
So I'm surprised that this cast is what it is between Henry Cavill and Jake Gyllenhaal, and even Isa's recently been in a few things. I think one Guy Ritchie thing as well too, and the fact that this movie didn't get a marketing push is wild to me. And so I was talking to my wife about it. We talked about it the other day. I don't remember seeing anything on this movie anywhere. Now, we're not big on cable television at this point, especially me. I've watched zero cable television in the last 7 years at least. But I haven't seen any marketing push for this, no trailers. And sometimes we'll see a big social media push like TikTok and Instagram Reels and such. Nothing there either. So they had this cast, which two powerhouses, two male lead powerhouses at least, and this thing just comes and goes, man. Like that's all this thing is doing, and I think it's crazy. The movie, I think we talked about it in the box office, made $3 million, or like a little bit over 3 million nationwide because it only came out domestic, and I think that's criminal for this movie. This movie, its budget's probably around between 40 and 60 is what I think I saw is the discussion. Only making 3 million is crazy. And this thing deserves 10. This thing deserves probably 12, 15.
It deserves 2025. I mean, with the cast it has.
Star power alone, yeah.
That's why it just with all the high schools and middle schools and colleges of people that love films and are cinephiles, where are you? Chris and I shouldn't have to convince you to watch a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, Henry Cavill, Isa Gonzalez with Guy Ritchie at the helm. We shouldn't have to do that. That's what I don't understand, Chris. I know that I'm always harping on that. I don't want to be the old man yelling in clouds, but I don't understand how you can, as being someone who loves film, and walk into a theater and be like, oh shit, I'll see that instead. Whatever you're gonna, Devil Wears Prada 2, whatever you're gonna watch a second time, how do you not? How does this not tickle your curiosity fancy a little bit? I don't, and it's, when I saw the movie, I thought, oh, maybe I'll find out, but it's not, and
it's fine, right? Yeah,
it's a fine movie, and so the tomato meter, Chris, would you be surprised to know that the tomato meter is sitting at a 46?
So that's the critics,
right? Correct, but What do you think the popcorn meter's sitting at?
Popcorn meter's got to be like a solid 88.
You're very again, you have an uncanny ability. It's at an 83. You're very close.
Okay, okay.
And if I told you that, what would you think the Metacritic? If you had to guess, after seeing this movie,
Well,
what would you think the Metacritic is sitting at?
42.
52. So
Okay,
it's yeah,
52's all right.
that's I I think it's a little low for this movie. If my input meant anything, I think 52. I think is a I don't know if it's a lot low, but I think it's at least a tad low. I think 55 is the minimum because this is, I think, at its heart, it is a well-made action movie with stars that are used properly. That I think does have a little bit of intrigue. I think that it falls flat in a lot of points, and we'll get to that in a second.
It does. It does.
But I think it deserves more than it's getting in the box office and with critics.
Mhm.
I think it deserves a little more than that. But
Yeah,
maybe,
and
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where that I don't know where that critic angle's coming from, and the reason why I say that is because the movie is. I keep on saying it's fine. It's very by the numbers. The movie isn't like hyper predictable, but you can definitely like know where each beat's going to go for the most part when things are happening. But like the movie's dialogue is good, the setup is interesting, the visuals are great. There's good action in this thing. I think the only place where this thing really struggles is all of the characters besides our main three do not get any kind of development. So
Any
you feel
whatsoever,
yeah,
and
you
that's
feel detached. You feel detached from the crew, and they definitely have red shirt syndrome going on, which ends up being something that ends up happening in the movie for some of these guys. But like again, the dialogue is fine. It's witty and funny at sometimes. I think it's a little one note on the joking for some moments, but eh, you still have Henry Cavill and Jake Gyllenhaal in the same room together for tons of these lines, which has got to be intriguing. But it's not like where like the poll is
well,
very weird for this movie.
it's very Guy Ritchie, and that's the thing. It's
It
like I
is,
mean, when I watch a Guy Ritchie film, like I mean, I know we kind of joked about like you were looking at the Guy Ritchie filmography, like Aladdin. It's easy to forget that he did Aladdin, but like
yeah,
it's not. If you watch this movie and someone's like, "Who made this movie?" I feel like Guy Ritchie would be in like your top three candidates for like, what was it, Guy Ritchie? Obviously, you know what I mean. Like it's
yeah,
very
yeah.
Guy Ritchie esque, especially with the Jake Gyllenhaal and the Isaac Gonzalez. I feel like
Hmm.
Henry Cavill fits right in that group too.
He
And
does.
you're right about I mean, the villain is leaves a lot to be desired. It could have been. I mean, why wasn't it Javier Bardem? I don't know, but I mean, it could have. The villain could have been punched up a little bit. It could have. I do like, and I know it's going to be weird to say, but I do think it worked. Like I do like the gravitas on screen from Henry Cavill and Jake Gyllenhaal. I like
Hmm.
the weird like never kind of addressed but kind of like homoerotic dialogue between the two. Like I think
that's
it
hey,
works.
that's just dialogue with your boys. You know what I mean? Like that's
That's
fine.
right. I think it works. I think it works to the movie's I think it works to the movie's satisfaction that
Mhm.
neither one like there's never a romantic interest with Isaac Gonzalez. It's more like
True.
they're they're obviously on her team and will protect her, but like neither one like ever like it's never like one's like, oh, I'm in love with her, and the other one's like, well, me too, and like it's never that
Yeah,
weird
yeah,
like
yeah. I'm
but
glad that wasn't there. Yeah.
yeah, I think it helps the movie, especially
Yes,
because
I
the
agree.
movie's like it's not a long movie. It's a quick what like it's got to
It's
be like less than 100, like
it's
90 to 100 minutes, right?
it's not it's like 98 minutes or something, which was a complaint an audible complaint in my theater when it ended. But
Really?
you know,
I thought it worked to its. Thought that was like a
no, yeah, no, I agree. But like somebody was like, "What?" when it ended,
well.
and they're like, "That's it."
I can understand that. I can understand because this does have kind of an odd ending, and I will say with the red phone, like really weird. But
It just ends. Yeah,
I will say that we don't something an action film that we love on this show with and the Netflix the Extraction film with Hemsworth is like
yeah,
something that those movies do well is it gives you moments to kind of sit with the characters for a moment,
yeah.
and we don't get any of that in this movie, like
Yeah.
none of it. So I
Okay,
don't
so
really mind that too much, though.
I want to ask you a question because we kind of played with this when we talked about the box office earlier in the week. Does this movie feel like a bunch of people had to get something done, or is this a Guy Ritchie pet project, in your opinion? And he had enough pull to get it made, regardless of what it was going to perform.
To me, it could be a contract satisfying film, maybe Guy Ritchie needed to be, maybe they needed to keep Guy Ritchie busy, and this was like, hey, here's 50 million, do this. Um,
Yeah.
it's possible. It seems like it's possible that Jake Gyllenhaal was contracted for another Guy Ritchie film, and then Jake pulled
Uh-huh.
Henry Cavill in, and then Isaac Gonzalez got pulled in. Like it seems like that could have
Yeah,
happened
yeah,
in
yeah.
that way.
So to me, this movie feels like that Guy Ritchie, Henry Cavill, and Jake Gyllenhaal were all sitting around a bonfire drinking beers in weird ass lawn chairs, and they started talking and like pitching a movie idea, and then one of them was like guys, we just make a movie. Let's make a movie, guys. And they're like, yeah, we'll get it done. And then like someone made some phone calls, and all of a sudden this thing started to become a thing. Is what it feels like. It just feels like three dudes were like, hey, you guys want to make a movie? They're like, yeah, let's go. And some drunk decisions were made, and then all of a sudden we have In the Gray
Well,
manifests.
three very influential guys were sitting
Oh,
around.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And then Jake's like, "Hey, I worked with Isaac Gonzalez. She's awesome. Let's get her." Like, I can see that happening in a weird way. And
Yeah.
those of you who don't like think that's silly, like I've worked in Hollywood, and like from what I understand, like that's not too far from the truth. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
especially how some people get some cast members get like friends of theirs in the cast. Like that's how it works
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes. So I can see that happening. But I think
I just
this
thought it was
movie
funny.
is I think this movie is kind of right up Guy Ritchie's alley, although it seems a lot of it seems uninspired, and I'm
Well,
a little bit like that.
let's quickly hit with what worked and what didn't. Then, so like in my opinion, what worked in this is absolutely the like I like the dialogue between the characters. It's good dialogue. It's witty. It like you want to pay attention. I think the legal subterfuge was really cool. I actually really liked that angle in this movie. All the legal stuff that they did to kind of impact this crime lord's life and make his life difficult. I thought was actually really interesting. I was ready to see the next thing they did to this guy and watch him get frustrated and watch this lawyer sweat for his life. So that was cool. And then I think the action works really well in this movie. And I know it's like, well, duh, it's going to work. It's Guy Ritchie. But, sometimes, people that are known for certain things make a movie and it doesn't do well in the area you think it should. I think those three things really work well in this movie. The action is great. Like when these guys are doing their thing and, they're shooting guns and shooting bad guys, this movie's firing. And I think it's great. So.
Oh, it's a little bit of a monster closet situation. I don't like that, but I don't like it when it feels like our heroes are invincible. I really can't stand that
Yeah, yeah,
enacted
yeah,
things
yeah.
today. But it
But
was the thing
but
in the
we lost
'90s,
but
and
we lost people. We had good guys go kaploot. What do you mean?
well, we had one good guy go kaput, but that was a
We had two.
sacrifice in his own. Oh, well, okay, there was two. And
Yeah.
it was nice seeing who was the guy from Game of Thrones? What was his name? Not Jon Snow, the giant Torben,
Bring
Giant's
bring the
Bane.
bring the big woman.
Where's the
That
big
guy.
woman? Yeah, he was cool. But he had a kind of an uninspired death as well, one that I didn't see coming.
I didn't think he was actually dead. Like I thought he was gonna crawl out of the water or something. You know what I mean?
I
But
thought so
no, he
too,
was
but like it's because the way the movie
dead.
presents it, it's like he's not dead. It just is weird. It ends weird, and I can see why someone would watch this and not kind of be a fan of it. But also, why are you watching this movie if you're not a Guy Ritchie fan and or Jake Gyllenhaal and Henry Cavill fan? So I mean, I get that part
Well,
of it too.
there's only about $3 million worth of Guy Ritchie fans out there apparently, because that's who went and saw this movie anyway, right?
Cinephiles. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's yeah, I agree. But I think it deserves a thumbs up. I think it deserves your viewing. I
Oh
hope
yeah.
what's the weird part of this movie? We'll do gangbusters on streaming, but it's not
Oh
doing
yeah.
anything now.
This
So
is the easiest movie in the world to just turn on. So
yeah, I think it's odd, but
yeah.
um,
I think it's
uh,
pretty cool though. I think if you're thinking about it, I think it's worth checking out. It's definitely worth seeing on the big screen if you've got time for it and the money. But if you don't see it, then definitely turn it on streaming. The movie is enjoyable. It's Guy Ritchie. Like you're getting exactly what you pay for with this movie, and it's fine.
I agree. I agree. Well, stay tuned for part two coming later this week. But that was our quick review of In the Gray. It was released in May 15, 2026. We are Post Credits Podcast. Grayson Maxwell and Chris Bond hanging out with you today. We hope we were able to convince you to watch it. We think it does deserve it. So thank you very much. And we'll see you again in the next video.
Peace.